everyone, I'm Madison. I started the channel so that I could read this book, Fahrenheit 451, by Ray Bradbury, and it's one of my English projects to read this, and we have to do tests and projects over it. I decided that if I recorded myself reading this, it would be a lot easier to go back in the book, so I could check them easier. So, but I kind of already started the book, so it's going to be a little harder. If you are reading this along with me, we're starting on page 58. So if you haven't got that far, just read that far, and then you can watch the video. Sorry about the late start, but I didn't think about it till right now that I could do this. So here we go. We're on page 58. The first sentence is first part of it's a cut-off sentence from the other page. So we're going to start on the next sentence where it says, "There you have it." There you have it, Montag. It didn't come from the government. Down there was no dictum, no declaration, no censorship. To start with, no. Technology, mass exploration, and minority pressure carried the trick, thank God. Today, thanks to them, you can stay happy all the time. You are allowed to read comics, the good old confessions, or trade journals. Yes, but about the firemen then, asked Montag. Ah. Beatty leaned forward in the faint mist of the smoke from his pipe. What more easily explained and natural? With school turning out more runners, jumpers, racers, tinkerers, grabbers, snatchers, flyers, and swimmers instead of examiners, critics, knowers, and imaginative creators. The word intellectual, of course, became the swear word. It deserved to be. You always dread the unfamiliar. Surely you remember the boy in your own school class who was exceptionally bright, did most of the reciting and answering, while the others sat like so many laden idiots, hating him. And wasn't it this bright boy you selected for your beatings and tortures after hours? Of course it was. We must all be alike. Not everyone born free and equal, as the Constitution says, but everyone made equal. Each man the image of each other. Then all are happy. For there are no mountains to make them tower, to judge themselves against. So, a book is a loaded gun. In the house next door, burn it. Take the shot from the weapon. For each man's mind, who knows who might be the target of the well-read man, me. I won't stomach them for a minute. And so, when houses were finally fireproofed completely, all over the world, you were correct in your assumption of the other night, there was no longer need of firemen for the old purposes. They were given the new job as custodians, or our new peace of mind, the focus of our ununderstandable and rightful dread of being inferior. Official censors, judges, and executors. God, I can't read today. That's you, Montag, and that's me. The door to the parlor opened, and Mildred stood there, looking in at them, looking at Beatty, and then at Montag. Behind the walls of the room were flooded with green and yellow and orange fireworks, sizzling and bursting, to some music composed along completely of trap drums, tom-toms, and cymbals. Her mouth moved as she was saying something, but the sound covered it. Beatty knocked his pipe into the palm of his pink hand, studied the ashes as if they were a symbol to be diagnosed, and searched for meaning. You must understand that our civilization is so vast that we can't have our minorities upset and stirred. Ask yourself, What do we want in this country? Above all, people want to be happy. Isn't that right? Haven't you heard it all your life? I want to be happy, people say. Well, aren't they? Don't we keep them moving? Don't we give them fun? That's all we live for, isn't it? For pleasure. For titillation. And you must admit our culture provides plenty of these. Yes. Mondag could lip read what Mildred was saying in the doorway. He tried not to look at her mouth, because then Beatty might turn and read what was there too. Colored people don't like the little black Sambo. Burn it. White people don't feel good about Uncle Tom's Cabin. Burn it. Someone's written a book on tobacco and cancer of the lungs. The cigarette people are weeping. Burn the book. Serenity, Montag. Peace, Montag. Take your fight outside. Better yet, into the incinerator. Funerals are unhappy and pagan. Eliminate them too. 5 minutes after a person is dead, he's on his way to the big flue. The incinerators, serviced by helicopters all over the country. 10 minutes after death, a man's a speck of black dust. Let's not quibble over individuals with memories. Forget them. Burn all. Burn everything. Fire is bright and fire is clean. The fireworks died in the parlor behind Mildred. She had stopped talking at the same time. Miraculous coincidence. Not confidence, coincidence. Ugh. Montag held his breath. There was a girl next door, he said slowly. She's gone now, I think. Dead. I can't even remember her face, but she was different. How? How did she happen? He smiled. Here or there, that's bound to occur. Clarice McLean? We've a record on her family. We've watched them carefully. Heredity. Sorry. Here we go again. Beatty smiled. Here or there, that's bound to occur. Clarice McLean, we've a reason on her family. We've watched them carefully. Heredity and environment are funny things. You can't rid yourself of all the odd ducks in just a few years. The home environment can undo a lot you try to do at school. That's why we've lowered the kindergarten age year after year until now we're almost snatching them from the cradle. We had some false alarms on the McLeans when they lived in Chicago. Never found a book. Uncle had a mixed record. Antisocial. The girl. She was a time bomb. The family had been feeding her subconscious, I'm sure. From what I saw of her school record, she didn't want to know how a thing was done. But why? That can be embarrassing. You ask why a lot of things, you wind up very unhappy indeed. If you keep it all, oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I will reread that sentence. That can be embarrassing. You ask why to a lot of things, and you end up. That's what I was. It says wind up. That makes no sense to me, but anyway, you wind up very unhappy indeed. If you keep at it, the poor girl better off dead. Yes, dead. Luckily, queer ones like her don't happen often. We know how to nip most of them in the bud early. You can't build a house without nails and wood. If you don't want a house built, hide the nails and wood. If you don't want a man unhappy politically, don't give him two sides to a question, or worry him. Give him one. Better yet, give him none. Let him forget there is such a thing as a war. If the government is insufficient, top-heavy, and tax-mad, better it be all those than people worry over it. Peace, Montag. Give the people context. They win by remembering the words to more popular songs, or the names of state capitals, or how much corn Iowa grew last year. Cram them full of non-combustible data. Chock them so damn full of facts that they're stuffed, that they feel stuffed. I'm so sorry. Oh! Okay. Anyway. By the way, this is the last page, and then we'll go on a different video. It's starting to get really long. But anyway, I'll start with the stuff. Okay. But absolutely brilliant with information. Then they'll feel they're thinking. They'll get a sense of motion without moving, and they'll be happy because facts of that sort don't change. Don't give them any slippery stuff like philosophy or psychology to tie things up with. That way lies melancholy. Any man who can take a TV wall apart and put it back together again, and most men can nowadays, is happier than any man who tries to slide rule, measure, and equate the universe, which just won't be measured or equated without making man feel bestial and lonely. I know, I've tried. I tried it to hell. I tried it. Oh my God, I know, I've tried it. To hell with it. So bring on your clubs and parties, your acrobats and magicians, your daredevils, jet cars, motorcycle helicopters, your sex and heroin, more of everything to do with automatic reflex. If the drama is bad, if the film says nothing, if the play is hollow, sing me with a theremin, loudly. I'll think I'm responding to the play, when it's only a tactile reaction to vibration. But I don't care, just like solid entertainment. Vita got up. I must be going, lecture's over. I hope I've clarified things. The more important thing for you to remember, Montag, is we're the happiness boys, the Dixie duo, you and I and the others. And it ends with we stand, and then it goes to the next page. So I'm going to end it on 61, and we started on 56, went to 61, so I'll make another video. Okay, bye.